This video's sort of update to my other clip about the same game, which I actually decided to remove because I mentioned that of the bishop h3, white could save himself with king f2, but that's of course not correct. And the reason I actually said that was that I was analyzing this game right in the video, so I hadn't done any analysis before making this video, or the last video actually. So in fact, after bishop to h3 there is no defense. That's also why white played the only move here, g takes h3. I'm not sure if both players actually saw all the implications of after bishop h3, but it turns, I believe that initially g takes h3 is the correct move, but it doesn't really matter what white does here. I think the game is lost anyway. So before what black played bishop h3, he played king e6, and this is where I think Shirov saw the move bishop h3. So I think it was based on intuition mostly, and then of course you also have to calculate that everything works, because you don't want to give up a piece unless it really works. So after king g1, bishop h3, black saw that after g takes, and after king f5, king f2, king e4, and bishop takes f6 and d4. So this is the whole point. Black is simply cutting off the h8 a1 diagonal for the bishop. So the bishop obviously had to go back to e7 in order to stop the pawn on a4, because obviously black was threatening to play a3, a2 and queen. So after king d3, bishop c5, king c4, bishop e7 and king d3, white actually resigned in the game. And let's take a look at why. And if you didn't see my video last night, you probably will understand that after king b3 the game is completely lost. And the reason is this. Let's say, for instance, white just makes a move with the king, for example king to d2, sorry, king e2, and after king c2 the game is completely lost, because even after bishop b4, for example, then d3, the king goes back. It doesn't really matter where it goes. For example, if let's just say king e3, well, that would actually be a bad move, I think. Let's say something like king e1 instead. It doesn't work to give check, because white can simply take, and after a3, bishop g5, a2, bishop f6, and black cannot promote this pawn. So that's not correct. So after king e1, obviously there's another pawn to be pushed, so black would obviously play a3. And this time he is forced to take, because if he doesn't take, let's say he plays just something like I don't know, bishop a5, then just a2, and there's no way to stop the pawn. So d2 is not correct, obviously. So a3 is the correct move, and this is obviously completely lost, because the bishop is overloaded and doesn't really know where to go, or I mean, either capture on a3 and then d2 check, or you know, whatever. So obviously this is lost. Well, let's go back to after bishop h3. I said that in the other video, and this is a really long line. So after king f2, this is just a sample variation obviously, but it proves that white really is lost. And I think the moves speak for themselves. I'm not saying that all the moves are necessary, but as you will see, black is giving up the a pawn for the g pawn, and after takes. Now we can see that there's no way to stop the pawn. And I think this is enough. See, what is going to happen is that even if the bishop wins this pawn on this pawn, for example, if it goes up here or whatever, then there's still this pawn protected by the bishop, and the black king will simply go to this pawn, and why this pawn, it depends, and then use the bishop to protect the pawn in the meantime. So obviously this is completely lost. So king f2 was not the correct move. And the simple truth is that after bishop h3 there is no defense. That's what I think. Again, I could be wrong, but I really do believe that after bishop h3 there is no defense. So, I just want to clear that up, and I hope you enjoy this clip one more time, and I'll see you soon.